good afternoon, welcome to another Friday Live. The Wicked Witch has gone back to her wicked hole, but I am so gobsmacked, impressed, amazed by how many of you really responded to and reacted to her. And she's also been getting views over on our YouTube channel as well, so check it out. But yeah, so we had a big chat about the services I offers, which is the last video she done, and now she's gone back, but she has asked to come back from Halloween next year, so give me a thumbs up in the comments if that's alright with you guys, if I should invite her back again. I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone that did the Halloween story, to all the new followers for coming over to our page, and just kind of a warm welcome to Crosswires Tutoring, Mentoring and more. This is me. I am the person behind this mad, amazing creation of my little company. I know people are thinking like it's quite big. It's generally not. I've had loads of messages like, oh, do you sublet tutors? Do you do everything? It's just me. It's me, computers, passion, a textbox of resources, and an office space that is probably the same size as most people's garden shed. So yeah, all the content, all the media, all the lessons, everything you see online is all done by me with support from my amazing family as well as my amazing partner who is qualified in ICT and technology, which helps me out where it needs to. So I wanted to do two things that I want to talk about for this November, and three things I want to talk about today. So the first things I want to talk about is that we're in the new season. Oh my god, Christmas is only around the corner, guys. I'm so excited. Halloween's like gone now. It's like Christmas, November. So for November, the topic that I'm studying with students lower than GCSE students is Harry Potter. Because I absolutely adore Harry Potter and the season and how it's written. And I know there's controversy around J.K. Rowling, which I completely appreciate. But I'm not looking at the author, I'm looking at what she was able to create away from her personal views. So I am really excited to kind of get into that, do some experiments on lives with you guys, talk a little bit about the wonderful wizarding world. And I know all my students that have done it this week have really enjoyed it. The other things I wanted to talk about today is just things that are up and coming. So, excuse me, getting my notebook out. I've got three things up and coming. So the first thing I want to talk about is a little event that I'm going to be hosting online, which is going to be a questions and answer. I'm just going to take a sip of water because my throat is really croaky today. There we go, that's better. Clear throat, clear mind. So yes, I'm going to do a Q&A session, which is a question and answer, and I'm looking at doing it that mid to late November. This will be an online session more tailored to parents and carers to come on and ask me some questions about what I do, why I do it, and also some questions more tailored to their individuals. So most people might not feel comfortable to reach out by message or where to start. So I kind of want this to be about a community chat about tutoring, the educational system. Maybe I can identify some more gaps where I could help, or people could identify, you know, where we could network to help each other. So that's something that I will be putting out, so stay tuned for that. I also did a lot on World Mental Health Day, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about it being Men's Mental Health Week. Now, obviously, as you know, I work with female students and male students, and in my day-to-day role, I do a lot more around mental health. I'm actually had the amazing opportunity through my employer to do a mental health qualification, which I'm really looking forward to sharing and developing that knowledge as well. But men's mental health is a big thing that's quite important to me, as is in all mental health, and men not feeling the value that they are able to kind of talk about their mental health. Now, obviously, I work with female students and male students, and as a professional, you can see that barrier. So I do say to any man that is feeling that mental health strain that we all feel, know that you're not alone, you can reach out, and this kind of precedence in the world that men need to kind of put up and shut up, I don't see any value in. I think in a developer world, we really need to look at how this works for people, how this works in relationships. Hi Nicole, yes she did. I'm so proud of all the work that you've done. She often chats it through. So yeah, that's just a big topic that's important to me as well, and I wanted to talk about it being Men's Mental Health Week, and men knowing that there are appropriate channels they can reach to, as well as they are for women as well, and just knowing that mental health can start at any age, in young males as well. I hear a lot of the term of boys being boys, and I think that's a term in society we kind of need to suppress and get rid of. I will say my own personal opinion on mental health here, between the difference between men and women. And this may come to shock as people, not really something I've done before, so I'm a little bit anxious to put it out there, but I'm going to go for it. When it comes to men's mental health, I've seen a really big difference, and this is coming from working and kind of my friends and people around me, that men are there for other men, but not always knowing how to solve it. And there's this stigma that men can't be there for women and women can't be there for men, but we can. Even though the media shows our brains to be very different, we are. Women are solutioners, women want to solve problems, but so do men. So there's this comparison that hits one against the other, And I think if everyone was there for everyone, there'd be a better world. But obviously, who am I to say? But a big thing that I got told when I was younger was, if you feel a man, young boy, whoever is struggling to talk, and I suppose it would work with women too, say, you don't need to say anything to me, and you can tell me whatever you need to tell me when you're ready, but would you like a hug, or can I do anything for you? And that's something that I kind of brought into my own relationship that's been really helpful for me and my partner, as he's not someone that often likes talking about his mental health, but won't mind me saying that I know that he struggled with it. And that kind of sentence of going, look, I know something's not right. You don't have to tell me what's right, but you need to know that I'm here if you do feel comfortable to tell me. And that's just been a really big eye-opener to me, saying to people, look, I know something's not seeming okay at the moment, maybe I'm off, I'm sorry if I am, but if I'm not off, you tell me when you're ready, but no, I'm here all the time. And that's how I deal with and I see mental health. So yeah. And on the topic of Harry Potter as well, I know it's one drastic change to the other. We've got to understand that this author wrote this book at her point of grave depression, grave sadness, things going on in her life, and knowing that out of a negative journey can come a positive one is something really inspiring to a lot of people, and I think something we need to remember. So if anyone's going through it right now in the moment, I hope and I put forward to you that positive things are coming. One of the things I often say is that if you had a dark sky all the time, you'd never see the stars. So always look for your stars in the world and look for the things you can look forward to. Going back to J.K. Rowling, obviously she lost her mum at a young age. In her book it explores a lot of grief, it explores a lot of emotion. So I think the creative side of her literature is amazing, but also the emotional she expresses are amazing. So going on to a more positive topic, if you want to bring the children back into the room, you can. I'm going to read you one of the extracts from the starting scene of Harry Potter. So, Harry had never quite imagined what a strange and spectacular place it was going to be. It was lit by thousands of fandles of candles that was floating in mid-air along 4 tables, where the rest of the students were sitting. The tables were laid with glittering golden plates and goblets. At the top of the hall was another long table where the teachers sat. Professor McGonagall led the first year up here, so they come to a halt in the line facing the other students, with the teachers behind them. Hundreds of faces staring at them, looking a pale lantern flickering by candlelight, dotted along the students. The ghost shone in a mysterious silver colour. Mainly to avoid all the staring eyes, Harry looked towards and saw a velvet black ceiling dotted with stars. He heard Hermione whisper, "It's bewitched to look like the sky outside." I'd read about Hogwarts in a history book, but it was hard to believe that the ceiling was the marvel that it was. The great hall simply looked open to the heavens. Now, when we first read this, we're brought into this great hall, this magical adventure of Harry Potter, which it is. But I can't help, maybe it's my professional head, in reading this and feeling the sense of anxiety in the students as well. And obviously transition work, whether it's transitioning from primary school to secondary school, whether it's just transitioning from year 8 to year 9 with the options and the change. Every child, I think, feels that anxiety and pressure of school each day, and I think it's been captured beautifully here that he wants to look away from the eyes, and something so beautiful can also feel so daunting. And I know we approached that schools are a happy and safe environment, which, fingers crossed, I hope most children do feel happy and safe in school. I think it's important to remember that kind of tenseness, that anxiety, that situation, and how busy school environments are in compared to coming home and needing some wind down time for some of these children. So yeah, that's why I've chosen to do Harry Potter. Obviously we're going to cover the light-hearted side, the amazing description. This part of extract that I've read you has got so much adjectives, descriptive nouns, alliteration, similes, metaphors and personification in it in just that small little paragraph. But it's also got a lot of emotion, a lot of integrity, and I feel that a lot of young children and possibly adults could put themselves in a situation where you're amazed by your surrounding, maybe your first day at a new office, but the pressure of people and everything being new can be really overwhelming. So yeah, bear that in mind when working with your children and young people. Next week I'm going to hopefully do science experiments on live, which I'm really excited for. So have a read of November newsletter that come out on Monday. Look out for them science lives that I'm going to do next Friday with a few experiments. Keep hugging, keep supporting, and please keep being there for each other. A huge welcome to all my new followers. Happy Men's Mental Health Week. Let's just keep being positive and keep spreading this amazing messages, because that's what I'm all about at Crosswise: tutoring, mentoring and more. See you later.